Shalom Israel, this is Yahawah from the Dallas GMS camp. First off, I want to give all praises to Yahawah by Sham Yahawashi. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and rule well. Blessings to all the Akiams scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. I just wanted to make a video on one of my I guess you would say favorite books and one of my favorite chapters. I'm just gonna run through it real quick. It's pretty self-explanatory. I'm not gonna go into nothing too deep or try to go too deep. Just explaining some things about vanity and the meaning of what the real meaning behind living this life is. What it really does consist of, so to speak. But first I'm gonna start from the top. I said in mine heart, go to now, I will prove thee with mirth. Therefore enjoy pleasure, and behold, this also is vanity. So he said, I will prove thee with mirth. Mirth meaning joy, happiness. It's saying that, man, like, this is, having this is also vanity. I said of laughter, it is mad, and of mirth, what doeth it? What does it really do? I saw in mine heart to give myself unto wine, yet equating mine heart with wisdom, and to lay hold on folly, till I might see what was that good for the sons of men, that they should do under the heaven all the days of their life. So he sought to acquire wisdom, and to see what to lay hold on folly, just to see what it should do for men, their entire lives. What is the outcome of all this? And he's going to explain to you right in these next few verses what he did and what he acquired. I made me great works. I builded me houses. I planted me vineyards. I made me gardens and orchards, and I planted trees in them of all kinds of fruits. I made me pools of water, to water therewith the wood that bringeth forth trees. I got me servants and maidens, and I had servants born in my house. Also I had great possessions of great and small cattle above all that were in Jerusalem before me. I gathered me also silver and gold, and the peculiar treasure of kings and the provinces. I gat me men singers and women singers, and the delights of the sons of men as musical instruments, and that of all sorts. So he got all these things. He did all these great things that probably most of us will never accomplish in this life. So I was great and increased more than all that were before me in Jerusalem. Also my wisdom remained with me. So he did all these great things in Jerusalem. Got all this increase. And he still held on to his integrity. Still held on to his wisdom. His wisdom stayed with him. And whosoever mine eyes desired, I kept not from me. I withheld not my heart from any joy. So whatever he desired, he got. For my heart rejoiced in all my labor, and this was my portion of all my labor. So he enjoyed all his work. Then I looked on all the works that my hands had wrought, and on the labor that I had labored to do. So he looked at all the things that he did, all his work, all the things he got. Behold, all was vanity and vexation of spirit, and there was no profit under the sun. So throughout, at the end of the day, getting all these things, having all these items or treasures or whatever, all these servants, vineyards, all these things, at the end of the day, it's all vanity. There's no point to it. There's no profit to it. It's just materialistic shit that that's gonna go away at the end of the day. Like, once we're dead, what's gonna happen to it? What are we gonna do with it? We can't take it. We can't take the spirit world. It's gonna be passed down to the next man. And then same thing for him. It's all just gonna be vanity. No point to it. And I turned myself to behold wisdom and madness and folly, For what can a man do that cometh after the king, even that which had been already done? Then I saw that wisdom excelleth folly, as far as the light excelleth darkness. So wisdom, is pretty much wisdom surpasses folly. Surpasses um, those things that are not convenient. As far as the light excelleth darkness, the wise man's eyes are in his head, but the fool walketh in darkness. The wise man sees with his spiritual eye. But the fool, he's gonna stumble in that darkness. And myself perceived also that one event happeneth to them all. So everything can happen to anybody. You know what I'm saying? Then said in my heart, as it happeneth to the fool, so it happeneth even to me. And why was I then more wise? So like anything that could happen to the fool can happen to me too. But even though I'm more, I have more understanding and more wisdom than this dude. So why is that? And then he says, then I said in mine heart that this also is vanity. There's also no point in this also. For there is no remembrance of the wise more than of the fool forever. Seeing that which now is in the days to come shall all be forgotten. So they ain't gonna remember you as much as they remember that fool. You know what I'm saying? And how dieth the wise man? As the fool. So how is the wise man gonna die? The same as the fool, like I just got done saying. Therefore I hated life, because the work that is wrought under the sun is grievous unto me, for all is vanity and vexation of spirit. And that's why just living this life, this life sucks. I hate this shit. Having to endure all this shit, man, because everything is pointless. This car, the house, this fake ass money, TV, everything you have in your house, everything you possess, your life, it's all vanity, and it's all having to go to work every day, wake up in the morning. It's all vexation of spirit. Yea, I hated all my labor which I had taken under the sun, because I should leave it unto the man that shall be after me. So everything that let's say even if you do make a good living, let's say you get a company, you get to the point where you can own your own company or something. What's going to happen to it, after you're gone? You know what I'm saying? It's going to go down to the next one, be your son, or the second in command. The guy who will inherit your company after you're gone. You know what I'm saying? And who knoweth whether he shall be a wise man or a fool? So who knows if the guy next runner up is going to be wise or a wicked piece of shit? Yet shall he have rule over all my labor when I have labored. So he's going to have he's going to have dominion of all the things that I worked hard to get, and wherein I have shewed myself wise under the sun. This is also vanity. So there's also no point in that. Therefore I went about to cause my heart to despair of all the labor which I took under the sun. For there is a man whose labor is in wisdom, and in knowledge, and in equity. Yet to a man that hath not labored therein shall he leave for his portion. So there's a man that labors to do this work, to gain his wisdom and knowledge, and to have that understanding of equity, And then there's also a man that doesn't labor for this, and then he's going to be left for that. That's going to be his portion, This also is vanity and a great evil. For what hath a man of all his labor, and of the vexation of his heart, when he had labored under the sun? For all his days are sorrows, and his travail grief. Yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity. All his days are sorrows. Just like we live in today. All our days are sorrows. All just waking up every day, fucking early in the morning, having to go to work, sweating, working all day, tired, having to do the same shit the next day. It brings, sorrow to the heart. It's a travail unto men. It brings grief. You know, yea, his heart taketh not rest in the night. This is also vanity. There is nothing better for a man than that he should eat and drink, and that he should make his soul enjoy good in his labor. This also, this also I saw that it was from the hand of Yahawah. For who can eat, or who else can hasten hereunto more than I? For Yahawah giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom, and knowledge, and joy, but to the sinner he giveth travail, to gather and to heap up, that he may give to him that is good before Yahawah. This also is vanity and vexation of spirit, But like it says in the first part, for Yahawah giveth to a man that is good in his sight wisdom and knowledge and joy, So he given he's given us this wisdom and understanding, these scriptures, this truth, this living water, and that brings us joy, seeing them precepts, talking about when Yahawashi is going to come back, what the kingdom is going to bring, all the rewards that the Most High has planned for us, has set up for us, everything we're going to have, that brings us joy, but yeah, that's pretty much what I want. I just want to read that chapter, I think it's a pretty cool chapter, and maybe I'll do videos on just reading just reading through a whole book, just so maybe certain brothers can listen to the story, and so they can know it. Maybe they haven't heard the story before. Like a while back, I did a story about Joseph when he revealed himself to his brothers in Egypt after they had sold him, I believe, to some Ishmaelites. But yeah, Shalom.